One moment you look around and everything's calm and peaceful, like the poem from the 1800s that says God is in his heaven and all is right with the world. And then, suddenly, without warning, something happens. The stress you've been managing gets out of control. Your job disappears. Prosperity turns into adversity. A loved one passes away. A doctor's diagnosis confirms what you feared most. You find yourself lost in depression and it's too dark to see a way out. You're trapped in an addiction and you don't think you'll ever escape. Your relationship with your spouse or your kids is crumbling. You feel betrayed, isolated, and alone. And suddenly you begin to wonder, is God really in his heaven? And if he is, does he even care? These are very real situations, and it's an absolute certainty that every single one of us has faced, will face, or is currently facing one or more of them.
And when they come in waves, one after another, relentlessly. And when you don't see them coming, they can really pound you. There's more than one reason they call them breakers.
Some of Jesus' disciples were fishermen, so they knew all about waves. In fact, one night they were out in the water when a storm came up. You can read the story in Mark 4:35. Things were so bad that they broke the first rule of sailing: keep the water outside the boat. Now, while the disciples were bailing, Jesus was sleeping. Crisis? What crisis? The disciples woke him up and asked him a question. Don't you care if we drown? I've asked the same question during stormy times in my life. Don't you care about my future, my finances, my relationships, my grief, my pain? You would think Jesus would rebuke the disciples for such a disrespectful question, but instead he rebuked the storm. Be still, and that was the end of it. But he did ask two key questions. Why are you so afraid? And do you still have no faith?
Sure, the answers seem easy from our 21st century vantage point. Come on, disciples. Look who you've got on the boat. You've seen what he can do. But I feel like Jesus asks me those questions on a regular basis when things get hard. Mike, why so much fear and so little faith? The answers don't come easily for me at times like that. Maybe for you too. We can't stop the waves from coming. Problems, pain, heartache, and loss are inevitable. Fear is not. Not if we remember who we've got with us in the boat. God didn't take Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego out of the fiery furnace. He stood beside them and kept them safe inside it. He didn't take Daniel out of the lion's den. He closed the lion's mouth. He didn't take away Paul's thorn in the flesh. He said, "My grace is enough for you." And it was. Other times he healed the lame, gave sight to the blind, and raised people from the dead. You've seen what he can do. So how do you get that knowledge from your head to your heart when the next wave of trouble comes along? Well, here's something I've learned from living near the beach most of my life.
If I stand back there, where the waves were breaking on my head, it would happen again and again and again. But if I stay out here, past where the waves break, I float right over the swells.
So the answer in life is the same as it is down on the beach. Go deeper. Don't be like the people that say that they're doing fine under the circumstances. You aren't called to live under your circumstances. There is a peace available that surpasses all understanding because it makes no earthly sense whatsoever, but it can be yours. Do it now. Go deeper.
And if you need some help along the way, you've got friends here at Solid Ground ready to pray, help, and encourage. Reach out to us at sgbic.com. We'll be back with another edition of Potluck next week. In the meantime, see you Sunday.